Hi everybody, and welcome into another brand new episode of Caton'S Corner here on CUTV. As always, I'm your host, Tom Caton. And before we get the show started today, there is a reason for celebration as we film today's show, and it's February 24th. 2 days ago, on February 22nd, marked the 3-year anniversary of the first ever premiere of Caton'S Corner. My show is now 3 years old. It's a toddler, and I can't believe that. It was on February 22nd, 2019, when the season premiere episode of Caton'S Corner was launched on CUTV. Now, saying I was nervous that day was a total understatement. I was extremely nervous and terrified to step in front of the camera for the first time ever during my time as a crew member here in CUTV. I worked behind the camera multiple times, but this was my first time getting in front of the camera. And I knew what to expect, but I did let my nerves get the best of me a little bit on that day we filmed. Furthermore, I can gladly say my opening monologues have improved over the last 3 years. I'm not saying that my monologues were ever bad. Just was not as fully prepared back then in the early days on the show compared to how I am today. Speaking of opening monologues, and with me celebrating the 3-year anniversary of the launch of my show, I figured now is a perfect time to look back and reminisce on the very first monologue I ever delivered on Caton'S Corner. Take a look. Hi everybody, welcome into a brand new show here on CUTV. I'm your host, Tom Caton, and you are all tuning into the very first official episode of Caton'S Corner. It's going to be a talk show-based program here on CUTV. I'm looking forward to it. I've always been behind the scenes on CUTV, running camera or doing something else, but this is my first time taking over a show here on CUTV. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited, and it's going to be a great day. There you go. It's crazy to see how many things change in the course of 3 years. My sets, my look, my hairdos, you name it. A lot of things have changed on the show during the last 3 years and 7 seasons, but I am grateful for delivering the show to all of you, and it brings me nothing but joy and happiness. After all, this is a profession I'm trying to land for myself in the future, so I guess it was a good thing I started the show when I did. Thanks forever and always goes out to Gary Smith, our director and advisor for CUTV, for pushing and motivating me to launch this show. Thanks, Gary. You know I'll always appreciate it. Aside from that, let's move into our next segment and take a look at this week's Hot Topics. Why don't we? All right, first up, Super Bowl 56 was played at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, California. Almost 2 weeks ago, on February 13th, the Los Angeles Rams claimed a victory against the Cincinnati Bengals with a final score of 23-20. The Rams may have won the Super Bowl title and the Vince Lombardi trophy, but one Rams player won a little bit more that day. Rams safety Taylor Rapp celebrated with 2 rings on Super Bowl Sunday. After winning the big game, Rapp proposed to his longtime girlfriend, Danny Johnson, right on the field, where she happily accepted. The Rams then posted a video of the proposal on their Instagram page after the game with a caption that read, "More than one ring tonight." Congratulations to Rapp and Johnson on their proposal. Next up, beauty is being redefined after Victoria's Secret has selected their first ever model with Down syndrome. 25-year-old Sofia Hirao is from Puerto Rico, and she is making history as the first Down syndrome model to be featured by Victoria's Secret. Hirao took to Instagram to make the announcement in her post. Hirao stated, "One day I dreamed of it, I worked on it, and today it is a dream come true." We are so proud of Hirao and the success she is destined to have. Next up, if you have been staying up to date with the 2022 Winter Olympic Games in Beijing, China, you may have noticed that the USA placed 3rd with its medal count this year. In grand total, our country had won a total of 25 medals, 8 of them being gold, 10 more being silver, and the remaining 7 being bronze. Germany came in 2nd place with a total of 27 medals, and Norway came in 1st place with a total of 37 medals. The Winter Olympics concluded on February 20th, and preparations for the 2026 Winter Olympic Games are already underway, believe it or not. The 2026 Winter Olympics is scheduled to be hosted from February 6th to 22nd in 2 Italian cities, Milan, and I'm probably going to screw up this other one, Cortina d'Ampezzo. Italian cities, that's it. Up next, you might soon see robots flipping your burger the next time you visit a White Castle location. The hamburger chain recently announced that it will be installing a robot fry cook called Flippy 2 in 100 of its store locations. While some White Castle employees have mixed emotions about their jobs being reassigned to a robot. Upper management of the company said employees can now focus on satisfying and creating memorable moments for customers. And finally, Wendy Williams is unexpectedly ending her talk show this spring after 13 seasons on the air. Williams, age 57, has not set foot on her show since the beginning of season 13 last September due to health issues. The show has had multiple guest hosts, most of the time being Sherri Shepherd, throughout this season. Sherri Shepherd will be taking over Williams' time slot with her own talk show launching this upcoming September. Shepherd is saddened by the news, but she wants to state for the record that she's not replacing Williams. She's only taking over until Williams recovers. But not all hope is lost for the Wendy Williams show because producers of the talk show are keeping an open mind to relaunching Wendy's show once she recovers from her health issues and if Williams has the strength to do so. It's tough to hear and see another talk show come to an end, but it's all for the right reasons right now, and hopefully Wendy can make a full recovery and come back. Well, that does conclude this installment of Hot Topics. Be sure to tune into the next episode for another installment. All right, we will step aside for a quick commercial break. Caton'S Corner will return in a moment here on CUTV. Stay tuned, everybody.
Back by popular demand and better than ever is late night dining in the Natali Student Center. Join us starting Monday, October 18th at the hot spot for evening dining, Natali Evening Eats, located on the second floor of Natali next to Umami. Open Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. and on weekends, 7:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Natali Evening Eats is a one-stop shop for your favorite menu items. Orders can be placed through our mobile app or at the designated Evening Eats kiosk. We can't wait to see you there.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. My first guest of today's show met with me on Zoom earlier. She is the Director of Student Wellness Support Services here at Cal U, and it was so great speaking with her. Here is my interview video with Rachel Michaels. Take a look.
All right, well, just introduce my first guest of the show. She's from the Cal U Counseling Center, and I'm very excited to have her here. Everyone, please welcome Rachel Michaels.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming by. Rachel, before we dive into it, if you just want to take a moment and briefly introduce yourself.
Yeah, of course. My name is Rachel Michaels. I'm the Director of Student Wellness Support Services. So I don't work in the counseling center, but I work very closely with our counselors, and I do a lot of the mental health education and drug and alcohol education, health education, and I do the COVID response for the university at this point. So a couple different things, but one of my main areas of focus is working with our university counselors and helping students get connected with counseling services on and off campus.
Okay. And so, I guess that kind of takes care of the next question, explaining your duties and all that. But ever since the pandemic, and it's crazy to think that's even coming up on 2-year anniversary of it, and it's unbelievable. Has duties at all changed from when the pandemic hit? Obviously, we went from in-person to online, and now we have that hybrid, but has anything significantly changed because of that?
I think obviously, like you just mentioned, the going remote and doing online therapy, which not everyone's going to love it, not everyone's going to hate it. So I think we've gotten kind of mixed reviews on it, but overall, I think for the most part, students actually prefer it. It's easier. They don't have to leave their room or their house or whatever to come to campus. It's more convenient. But then there are aspects of counseling that obviously are better suited for in-person sessions. So our counselors are still meeting with students in person for crisis sessions. So if a student is having a mental health crisis or struggling with thoughts of wanting to hurt themselves and more severe mental health concerns, our counselors will meet with them in person to do an assessment and figure out where they, what kind of treatment they need and get them set up with those resources if that's something that they're not able to provide in the counseling center. But other than just going remote, nothing really has changed with our counselors. They're still very busy. I think the pandemic in general has caused a lot more mental health concerns in students, at least in college age students. and not just at Cal U. I think it's across probably the world, but especially the nation. But we are seeing slightly higher numbers in increased referrals, requests for counseling, but so it doesn't seem that the Zoom option is limiting students to wanting counseling.
Okay. And then I know coming up July 1st this year, we have the whole merger with Clarendon and Edinboro. I know we'll stay our separate universities, but are there going to be any changes at all with the counseling center, or will stuff pretty much stay the same despite the merger?
So we will be staying the same in terms of, having our separate center on our campus. And the same for Edinboro and Clarion. They each have their own counseling center with their own staff and faculty. But in terms of collaborations, I think it's going to be exciting because we will now have the opportunity to work with people at other schools who maybe have different specialties or different trainings or a different understanding of different techniques and counseling education and experience. So I think it will be good to kind of work with other people. We never want to like silo ourselves and be in our own little box. We always want to learn and grow from what other people are doing and kind of realize that maybe things that we're doing here aren't the best, or we could be doing them better based on how other schools are doing them and operating, and vice versa. They could look at us and say, wow, we really like how they're doing it and it's effective, so we're going to adopt that and do it on our campus too. So I think in that aspect, it's pretty exciting to have different minds working together, because ultimately at all three schools, we're here to support our students. So the more people and excuse me, the more qualified and educated people we can get on board to do that, I think the better off the students are going to be.
I know many people have mixed emotions about this merger coming up, but I know you maybe briefly mentioned some, but could there be any excitements that maybe people could look forward to with this merger?
Sorry, any what?
Do you think anyone could find any excitements about this merger happening?
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's good to have different people on different campuses with different experience levels and specialties and trainings and different education levels, because we have 3 full-time faculty counselors in our center, and the other schools I believe have the same amount, maybe 1 or 2 more on each campus, but we all have different backgrounds and different education and different experience. So I think the more people we can get involved, the more types of specialties we can kind of work with students to help them.
So I know you said you work very closely with members that work in the counseling center. Is there anything else maybe you think that some students might not know about the counseling center, or maybe some information they should need to know?
Our counseling center is based, I think a lot of students and staff, everyone in general, our counseling center is based on a brief short-term model. So for the most part, what that means is that students can meet with a counselor from our counseling center for 6 sessions throughout the semester. So it's basically once every other week for the entire semester. Okay. That's great for students who are struggling with like anxiety or, issues of, first time students coming here. It's a big culture. It can be a big culture shock, and being away from home, being away from all their friends. So it can be an adjustment. So having those situations, it would be great to see someone in the counseling center for those types of things. Breakups, typical things that happen throughout most people's college experience. But for higher level things, like if students have a history of, for example, like eating disorders or self-harm behaviors, the 6 session limit is not going to be great for them. So they can certainly still see our counselors in our counseling center. And of course, anyone's able to see them for crisis. But I think a lot of people don't really realize that that's not the end all be all. So if you do have, or if a student does have a more severe issue, or if they just want more long-term counseling, I'm able to help them find services outside of campus. So our counselors are faculty, so they work off of this same schedule as students. So they, for the most part, are not here in the summer. They're not here during winter break. So when school is in session, spring and fall, they're here. But in those off times, some students don't like to take that like 3-month summer break and not have therapy in place. So for students with more higher level need, it can be beneficial for them to meet with somebody outside of the counseling center, and I'm able to set that up for them. And I don't know that everyone really is aware of that.
Okay, and that's interesting to hear. And I know I can relate. My first time coming to campus for the very first time, you do get a little bit anxious because you might not know everyone around you. I believe two people from my high school that I graduated with came to Cal with me, and we all went our separate ways. So it was definitely something interesting to see, and it's definitely great to know that Cal offers all that stuff. So aside from that, what kind of steps should a student take if they are in need of counseling? How can they set up an appointment with a counselor?
So since COVID and since going remote, everything back in 2020, I've handled, I'd say about 99% of the referrals to counseling. So if a student wants to meet with a counselor, they can contact me via email, phone, or just by stopping in my office. My preferred method of contact is email because I'm not always in my office. If I'm at home or if I'm off or if I'm just off campus at a meeting somewhere else. I don't want students to get missed. So if you email me, I may not respond right away, but I'm constantly checking my emails. That's definitely the best way to reach me. And then I ask students a very basic series of questions to determine if they're a good fit for counseling. Or, if they're in crisis, then I want to get them in right away. I don't want them to have to wait a couple weeks for a meeting or even a week. So I kind of make that determination as well when students request services. And then from there, I put them in touch with the counselor and they can make an appointment.
All right, well, that's very good to hear. Before we wrap up this interview, Rachel, do you have any final words you would like to say?
I just appreciate being invited to this platform. I know obviously mental health, as I mentioned, and you mentioned as in college students, is becoming more of a concern. And to know that there are students who may not know about the resources or may not have access to resources otherwise, I think it's really important to reach them and let them know that they are able to meet with a counselor here. I think another misconception is that, they can't afford it or it's too expensive, but our counseling center, there's no fees. Well, there are fees, but they're built into your tuition that you've already paid by being here. So you don't have a standard, like off-campus counselor might have a copay or it goes through your insurance. You don't need any of that to be seen by a counselor here. All of it has been like wrapped up into the tuition and fees that every student pays at the start of every semester. So financial issues should not hold any student back from seeing a counselor in the counseling center.
And there's definitely people shouldn't be nervous or anything to go into counseling.
No, I mean, I think in general, the acceptance of getting help for not even severe mental health concerns. I mean, everyone struggles with anxiety and depression, and it's okay to ask for help with those things. And I think for a long time, those things have been kind of pushed under the rug. And, things that we're not supposed to talk about, they happen, but let's ignore them. But now I think just in general, maybe it's just the new generation of students that we're seeing, but they're much more open to talking about their mental health and encouraging others to get the help that they need for their mental health, which I think is a really great thing. It's less stigmatized than it used to be.
And there's nothing scary. Sometimes even asking for help or going maybe to see a counselor is the first step ahead to help you out wherever you are mentally.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, we will wrap up this interview. Rachel, again, thank you very much for taking time to meet with me today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And I know if you ever seek any mental help from the counseling center, you can definitely stop on down to the counseling center. You are located in, is it Carter Hall?
I am in Carter Hall G45. So if you're familiar with where the health center is, before you enter the main door to the health center, there's a door to a different office on the right, and that's where I'm located.
All right. Well, we will wrap up this interview. Rachel, again, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, please go to the health center if you ever need help or contact Rachel. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Rachel, for taking time out of your busy schedule to meet and talk with me. I appreciate it. All right, we'll step aside for another commercial break. Caton'S Corner will return in a moment. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Back by popular demand and better than ever is late night dining in the Natali Student Center. Join us starting Monday, October 18th at the hot spot for evening dining, Natali Evening Eats, located on the second floor of Natali next to Umami. Open Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. and on weekends, 7:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Natali Evening Eats is a one-stop shop for your favorite menu items. Orders can be placed through our mobile app or at the designated Evening Eats kiosk. We can't wait to see you there.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. In lieu of a second guest, I want to spend a little more time reminiscing on the 3rd year anniversary of the premiere of my show. Basically, I am celebrating that my show has lasted this long, believe it or not. The first guest I ever interviewed on Caton'S Corner was my good friend, Kimberly Rhodes, and she was just here a few weeks ago for the season 7 premiere, so it was kind of a full circle moment for me in a way. With that being said, let's take a moment, stroll down memory lane, and throw it back to the first interview ever from the first show ever on February 22nd, 2019. Take a look. Kimberly Rhodes. Hi, Kimmy.
Hi, how are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You have to be excited.
Yeah.
Very first guest on the very first
I know,
show.
right? I mean, it's just an honor.
I was like, had to have a good friend be a host, and I had to have another good friend be the first guest. So, so first off, Kim, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a student here at Cal U. I'm a sophomore, and I'm studying communications, radio, TV. And not too long ago, I started my YouTube channel. It's just my name, Kimberly Rhodes, RACHAEL.
So next time someone finds themselves on YouTube, just
check me out.
The name bar that came up. So yeah.
Yeah.
So really, what kind of inspired you to start a YouTube channel?
Well, I really enjoy watching YouTube videos, and you know, I just really, it's really a nice outlet to be creative, and I love doing makeup, and I really just want to be that person that somebody can, you know, be like, oh, I'm having such a rough day, you know, and just watch my videos and just kind of, you know, have that outlet to just relax and enjoy watching a girl do some makeup, because I know that I enjoy watching others do makeup as well. So,
did you have to make any lifestyle changes in order to start your YouTube career?
Well, I had to kind of quit doing theater here at Cal U, which was hard because, you know, theater was so time consuming, and I had no time to do my YouTube videos. And so it really does, it takes a few days to put up a video. It takes about a day to film a video. It depends on the video. Some take an hour to film, some are vlogs, which will take all day because I'll wake up in the morning, start vlogging. I only have one vlog up now, but I'm definitely gonna do more, but that one I do have took all day. Yeah. And then I started editing it that night, and then I finished it the next day, and then I put it up that day. So it is time consuming. I don't have the highest, you know, editing, you know, equipment out there like everybody else uses, but it is still time consuming because, you know, you still have to, you know, cut things and put music in and make an intro and do voiceovers and all that stuff.
Because a few weeks ago, we kind of already had this interview. I wrote a story about your YouTube page for the Cal Times, since I am the entertainment editor, and I texted you asking if you knew any information about the theater department and the production they're putting on this year, and you said you had to make that little change.
Yeah.
You weren't able to participate, and then you were the one that gave me the story idea to write about your YouTube channel, and because it's not always easy to start a YouTube channel.
It isn't. It really isn't, because, you know, you have a lot of people judging you, and I was very bullied in middle school. I was so bullied in middle school that I ended up doing cyber school in high school. And so it took me a while to get the confidence to put my videos out there, because I'm like, oh, you know, people are watching me, people are, you know, my anxiety just, you know, it wreaks havoc with me. But I was like, you know what? You know what you love to do, just do it. Nothing is stopping you. So that's why I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and go for it. So,
are there any other YouTubers that kind of like inspired you?
Well, I've been watching Tati Westbrook for a very long time. I love her so much. She is, I want to say, she's like middle-aged, like late 30s, early 40s, but she has such an amazing makeup collection, such an amazing knowledge on makeup, and she does such a nice job giving wonderful reviews. And so that's why I really, she's the one that really inspired me because I've been watching her for years.
Yeah. So a lot of people, they have different personalities and all that, and they all post their own unique kind of videos on YouTube. So what can fans find, kind of videos can they find on your YouTube page?
Well, they can find makeup videos, vlog videos, lifestyle videos. Like I said, I don't have too many out right now, but I want to start. Right now, I actually am starting a little segment on my channel, and I started out doing Edwardian makeup, and then I'm going to go on and do 20s makeup, 40s makeup, 50s, and so on and so forth until, now, so.
So I want to let people know, Alyssa, she's okay. She's off to the side, recovering from coughing. So that's why the seat's empty. She's okay. She should be back. But so when can fans expect a new video to be uploaded?
I try and upload at least once a week. I try and do it Wednesday or Thursday. I'm trying to keep it on Thursday, but life happens.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But just turn the notification bell on, and usually I will go on my social media and say, hey, uploading a video today, or hey, working on a new video, so you can expect a new video from me.
And do you have a favorite video or something you've uploaded? Like, what's your favorite video?
My favorite video that I've uploaded is probably the one I recently made, is my Edwardian makeup tutorial, because I did my hair really cool, and I did historically accurate makeup. Yeah. And it was really cool. It's not up yet, but it will be up this weekend. Okay. And it was really fun for me to do. And it's not what everybody is doing, but I still think that it's what I want to do. And whether that's the popular or the cool thing or whatever, it doesn't matter. I just want to do it and, help teach people, well, how did somebody back in the, in 1910 do their makeup and hair? Yeah. So I think it's really cool.
Yeah. And then kind of spoke about this a little earlier, but it was probably my favorite question I asked you and favorite response. What's your intended goal or purpose to having a YouTube page?
Well, like I said, I really want someone to, have that outlet to be like, oh, I'm having a really rough day, and I'm just, I want to be able to relate to somebody. And, whenever I was growing up and I was getting bullied and everything like that, I'd come home, I'd plop down on my bed, and I'd go to my phone and I would watch YouTube videos, because, I was like, wow, these girls are so beautiful, they're so amazing, and I want, they're like a friend, but you don't talk to them, you know what I mean? But what's really nice is that actually some of them I do talk to now because of social media. You can DM them and be like, oh my gosh, your last video was amazing. Or you can comment on, their Instagram posts or their videos, and they'll see that and they'll like it. And, it's really cool how social media, you can kind of interact with people now. So, but I kind of just want to be that person for somebody to, look up to, get tips from, and, kind of be a friend to, because I know that I needed that, and, so.
So I want to say, Kimmy, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Has to be exciting. Like I said, first guest on the first show. You want to check out Kimmy's YouTube page. Just type in Kimberly Rhodes into the search bar the next time you find yourself on YouTube. We are going to take a quick commercial break, so don't go anywhere. First episode of Caton'S Corner. We'll be back after these messages. Stay tuned. Well, that's that. A lot certainly does change over the course of 3 years. Some things got better, safe to say. But while I was rummaging through some of my stuff, I found this note card. It might be a little hard to see because of the lights. But this is the first ever note card from my show from that first episode 3 years ago compared to the card now. So the logo got a little better. I know you cannot see this at all, But oh well. This card, 3 years old, has all the original writing on the inside of it too. And then this card, just for fun. But yeah, so a lot does change in the course of 3 years. I have so much fun doing this show, and I hope in return that you all have fun watching this show as well. But with that being said, we will step aside for another commercial break. And when we return, we're going to come back and play a game. Stay tuned. You're watching Caton'S Corner on CUTV.
Back by popular demand and better than ever is late night dining in the Natali Student Center. Join us starting Monday, October 18th at the hot spot for evening dining, Natali Evening Eats, located on the second floor of Natali next to Umami. Open Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., and on weekends, 7:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., Natali Evening Eats is a one-stop shop for your favorite menu items. Orders can be placed through our mobile app or at the designated Evening Eats kiosk. We can't wait to see you there.
Welcome back, everyone. It's near the end of the show. That means it's time to play a game. I have a good friend joining me in the studio, making his debut on my show, which he should be forever and always grateful for. We have John SAPE here. Hi, John.
Hi, Tom. Thank you for having me. It's an honor. Long-time listener, first-time guest on the show.
I would say that not your first time on CTV, but maybe your first time in a studio show.
Yeah, the first time in front of the camera. Always looking forward to that, and I appreciate it.
Definitely. All right, well, for today's game, I decided we need to play something new. I'm always playing the same old games. I know I've never played this game before, so I figured it should be fun. We'll give it a try. I hope you all are familiar with the game Two Truths and One Lie, because that's what we're playing today. So John and I will each give 3 statements. 2 of them are truths. The other one is a lie. And our task is to decide which statement is the lie. Let's see if we can win. Let's see what we can do. Let's go ahead and play. I will go first. Okay. These are my 3. I have a twin sister. I've never broken a bone in my body. Or I know how to play the piano. John, which one do you think is the lie?
I don't know, man. Oh, my God.
For people that really know me, I know they can rule out one of them easily. But I'm not going to give that information away.
I feel like you don't know how to play the piano. I think that's my answer.
That's your answer? Well, you are correct. I don't know how to play the piano. Maybe Mary had a little lamb, but that's about it. Maybe that's why we had lambs in the beginning there. But yes, that is it. I have a twin sister, Megan. Everyone knows that. I know I've never broken a bone in the body. At least I don't think I have. I know I haven't, but yes, all right. Next one. I didn't learn how to tie shoes until I was 13. My dad has my name tattooed on his arm, and I've never traveled to the West Coast.
I feel like I just want the first one to be a lie because I don't want to think that you didn't know how to tie your shoes until you were 13, so I'm going to go with that one.
Well, that is incorrect.
What? There's no way.
Literally. I have my reasons for not learning how to tie my shoes until I was 13. It was hard. People that know my backstory, it was hard doing it growing up. And I always wore slip-on shoes, and it looked horrible. The only slip-on shoes you should have is a slipper.
Hey, I wear slip-on shoes, Tom.
That's okay. But I've never traveled to the West Coast. I'm trying to, though, and my dad, he doesn't have any tattoos. So, yeah, that was fun. All right, last one for me, and then we'll go to John. I don't know how to ride a bike. I've traveled to New York City every year from 2018 to 2020. I have been stung by a jellyfish.
I feel like we've talked about you going to New York. So I feel like that one's true.
So you can rule that one out.
Now it's between the last 2. I think it's the jellyfish because I would like to think you know how to ride a bike, but I don't. I think I'm going to go with the jellyfish.
That is correct. I have never been stung by a jellyfish. I don't know how to ride a bike. Here I am at 22, failing at life, but that's okay. Like with tying shoes, I try to learn how to, it was easy with the training wheels on. It's always easy, but then you take them off and you have to balance, and it was just never easy. So
You fall a lot.
that too. And so I am in no rush to ever learn how to ride a bike. All right, well, those are my 2 truths and 1 lie. John, I know you have your note card. Let's see if I can guess as well.
All right.
Go ahead.
So the first one, I have 3 siblings. When I was in high school, I played basketball, and then my favorite film series of all time is Star Wars.
All right. I know you a little bit. I can't recall if you ever showed me pictures with siblings. Basketball. I know you call basketball. I don't recall you ever seeing you play basketball. In Star Wars, I don't know. You kind of seem like a Star Wars guy.
What's that supposed to mean?
Okay, I'm just gonna take a random guess here. I'm gonna say, I'll go with the basketball.
That's a lie.
That is a lie.
That is true.
Oh, that's true.
I played basketball
Dang.
for 1 year when I was in middle school.
Okay.
And never played after that. I know a lot about basketball, just never played it.
Okay. So which one was the lie? Is it Star
That
Wars?
was the basketball one was the lie.
Oh, the basketball one. So I got it right.
You got it right.
Nice. All right. Next set of statements.
The second one, I have a Nutcracker collection in my room. My favorite music artist of all time is Frank Sinatra. And the first job I ever had was at McDonald's.
I feel like everyone's first job is at McDonald's. Mine's at Arby's, and I'm still there, unfortunately. But I don't know about Frank Sinatra. I don't know. I know whenever we're down in the convo center getting ready for basketball, you know pretty much all the rap songs they play. Nutcrackers. Let's see. I don't know. I'm going to go with the Nutcrackers. I don't know. That just seems too outlandish.
That one is incorrect.
Dang.
I've never worked at McDonald's ever.
Okay.
The reason for the Nutcrackers, quick backstory, my aunt gives them to me every year as a Christmas gift.
Okay.
Never really, don't know why. They were just like the Christmas-themed Nutcrackers.
Right.
So they just are in my room. And
Okay.
I love Frank Sinatra. It's my favorite music artist. Never worked at McDonald's, ever.
Okay, so there's that one that threw me off. Because it's like almost everyone's first job is in fast
It's true.
food.
Pretty much every single one of my friends have worked at McDonald's, except for me.
Well, you can't count yourself lucky. All right, last set.
And then when I was in high school, I was the prom king. I have a dog at home, and her name is Penny. And my favorite brand of shoes are Vans.
Well, let's see. You're wearing Vans right now, so I'm going to roll that out. I know we were just talking about this past week about, we were looking at old photos. I'm pretty sure you said that you won prom king in high school, so I'm going to go with the dog named Penny.
That is correct.
Nice.
I do know. That is my girlfriend's dog, actually. That is her. She's the
Okay.
cutest dog in the world, but it's not mine.
I knew it. Maybe you should have worn a different pair of shoes. It would have thrown me off.
I didn't think about that whenever I got ready this morning. In hindsight, it was probably was the better choice to wear something else.
Oh, that's fine. I feel like you and I, we rock the Vans down here in the media suite.
I love them.
I love my Vans. I don't have them on today, though, but that's okay. All right. Well, that is how you play 2 Truths and 1 Lie. That was a lot of fun. We'll have to definitely play that game again. But seeing what time it is, it's time for the show to be over. I would like to thank all my guests from today, Rachel, Michaels, and John, for joining me. I'd like to thank all of you for watching, and thank you to everyone, Gary, for working in the control room as well. I won't be back with another new episode in 2 weeks because we leave for spring break next week. And so, with that being said, be sure to join us again in 3 weeks' time on March 17th for a new episode. And do please have a safe and relaxing spring break. Don't forget, you can always stay up to date and follow CUTV, WCAL, and the Cal Times on all of its social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page, CUTV Sports 1, for my show and all the content we bring to you as the semester goes on. Well, that is it for today. So until next time, please wear a mask, stay safe, stay 6 feet apart, and stay beautiful. Bye, everybody.